Lucia, all the bank you need.
Hello everyone, welcome to Choice News Now Prime. I am Kishana Smith sitting in for Sheen Cherry. Watch the broadcast live on our Choice TV Facebook page, Choice TV SLU, and our YouTube channel at Choice TV St. Lucia. Or listen to the simulcast. We're on Liberty Radio 92.3 FM. In the news tonight, Education Minister Kenson Kazimi weighs in on CXC's planned phase-out of SBAs for CSEC and KEEP subjects. St. Lucian author Krista Setange explores identity and heritage in new Tewe L'Histoire anthology. Back-to-school book options expand as parents explore affordable alternatives ahead of the new academic year 26-27. And in news from the region, Guyana's Georgetown City Council launches border market cleanup while urging vendors to vacate Rob Street. In our top story tonight, following the Caribbean Examinations Council CXC's announcement that it plans to phase out school-based assessments SBAs for non-practical CSEC and KEEP subjects in July, opposition to the proposed change has emerged across several countries in the Caribbean region. On Monday, St. Lucia's Minister for Education, Kenson Kazimi, was asked to share his position on the issue, including what response St. Lucia may take should the proposed changes come into effect. Sienna Dalso begins our newscast.
In July, the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, announced that they will be phasing out the school-based assessment SBA component of a number of non-practical Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE subjects, starting from the 2027 exam session, with the reform to be fully implemented in the 2028 exam session. In its place, students of subjects including mathematics, English, Caribbean history, social studies, and principles of business will be writing a paper 3-2. At Monday's pre-cabinet briefing, St. Lucia's Education Minister, Kenson Kazimi, was asked his perspective on the change. In his personal capacity, the minister indicated his total disagreement.
Yeah, I do not agree with it, and that's asking me as the Minister of Education. There's a lot to be derived from students doing their own research. There's a lot to be derived from individuals bringing information together and being analytical, looking at different points of views, looking at different theories, different methods, and coming to their own sort of conclusion in an intellectually sound manner of expression. I think there is a lot that I benefited from, and most people benefited from having that level of analysis that allows our young people to be critical thinkers.
He noted ministry and CXC officials' capability to transform education for the better, but underlined how he views the independent research and critical thinking cultivated by doing SBAs as one such means of transforming students. When asked whether he viewed CXC's move as an overcorrection for the impact of generative artificial intelligence on education, the minister said that is yet to be determined, highlighting the dynamism of the education sector, making it one that requires long-term observation to come down to any fair assessment.
For all intents and purposes, CXC is not trying to make our education system less efficient and not trying to make our education system not in par with the world that we are moving in terms of technology. But I don't know that there's necessarily an overcorrection. I just think that there are adjustments being made, and the time in education would allow for us to have more of a definitive answer as to whether or not it works. But if you ask me as a Minister of Education, if I would be one who would just say do away with SBAs and that sort of thing, I would say let's have more of a measured approach to seeing how it works with the AI, rather than there being an assumption that we have to necessarily do away with it.
Some St. Lucians attest to having learned the skills needed to conduct and present research in subject areas such as study skills and research methods, varying by school. The minister was therefore asked whether greater instruction in study skills in multiple subject areas may help the situation. His response was emphatically positive.
We can never ever get to a point where whatever we are doing in education will suffice. We need to always skill, reskill, and pass it on to the students. So I believe that in schools, any additional measure we can use to ensure that our students learn even quicker and better, and they can actually use it in the real world, is something that we have to actually do.
For Choice News Now, I am Sienna Dalso.
A landmark bill aimed at reshaping the administration of justice in St. Lucia has been introduced in Parliament, with government officials touting it as a key tool in the fight against organized crime, gang activity, and court backlogs. The proposed plea bargaining bill would establish a formal framework for accused and convicted persons to cooperate with authorities in exchange for sentencing considerations, while preserving judicial oversight and protection for victims. Supporters say the measure is about greater efficiency, accountability, and tackling criminal networks. More in this report. The government of St. Lucia has moved to introduce the Comprehensive Plea Bargaining Bill, legislation that officials say will strengthen the country's criminal justice system by creating a structured process through which accused or convicted persons can cooperate with law enforcement authorities. Speaking during debate in the House of the Assembly, Minister for Home Affairs and Crime Prevention, Honorable Jeremiah Norbert, highlighted that the bill seeks to address long-standing concerns regarding delays within the judicial system, while providing prosecutors with another avenue to obtain critical evidence and information that could assist in solving serious crimes.
The purpose of this bill is to provide for plea bargaining and post-sentence plea bargaining to enable the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecution, and an accused person or convicted person, whether represented by an attorney at law or unrepresented, to engage in plea discussions and enter plea agreements in relation to the prosecution of a summary offense, an indictable offense, or an offense triable summarily or on indictment.
He said the proposed legislation would create opportunities for offenders to provide credible information capable of leading investigators to those directing criminal enterprises from behind the scenes.
Sometimes the man walking the streets with the gun in his hand, he just rent the firearm, or his partner just allow him to hold that, or the bossman has made it available to him. Mr. Speaker, what the plea bargaining bill does, it allows for an individual, if caught by the police and decides to go into a plea bargain, I don't want to use the words rat out, but they can give information. I don't want to call them soothsayer or informer either, Mr. Speaker, but it allows for them to be able to give information. And if the information can be deemed truthful and it can lead to further breakthroughs for the police, Mr. Speaker, that person may be in a position to get a reduced sentence. The bill allows for that person to be in a position to get a reduced sentence.
A central feature of the bill is its emphasis on judicial oversight.
A plea agreement does not automatically take effect upon being reached between the DPP and accused person. I think that's very important, Mr. Speaker, that we understand that, and I even break that down a little further. It is not a situation whereby someone just decides, okay, I'm just going to go into a plea. There are processes that before you can go into a plea bargain, there are certain processes and certain parameters that one must meet. A plea agreement does not automatically take effect upon being reached between the DPP and accused person. Every plea agreement must be presented before the court at a plea agreement hearing. So it is not a situation where there's going to be a arrangement between the DPP and the accused. That is not what the bill is intended to do. Even if there is an agreement, the agreement must be brought before the court. I think the bill allows for it to be heard in open court. So there will be, after the agreement happens, the facts will be presented before court, and a judge or magistrate will have a final say.
Government officials maintain that the legislation represents a modern and practical approach to criminal justice reform, one that seeks to expedite proceedings, strengthen investigations, and provide law enforcement with new tools to combat serious criminal activity, while also ensuring victims remain at the center of the process. For Choice News Now, I am Kishana Smith. The National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission (NTRC) is giving young St. Lucians the tools to become creators, not just consumers of technology, through its 3-week Summer Tech ICT training program. Held from July 27th to August 14th, the program brought together young people aged 12 to 22 for hands-on training in coding, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and other digital skills, equipping participants with practical knowledge for an increasingly technology-driven future. More in this report. For 3 weeks, young minds traded the traditional summer routine for computers, coding exercises, and lessons in emerging technology as the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission (NTRC) hosted its Summer Tech ICT training program from July 27th to August 14th. Held across training locations in Castries, Vieux-Fort, and Soufrière, the initiative was designed to empower young people through technology, with participants introduced to areas including artificial intelligence, website development, Python, Scratch, and cybersecurity. The program comes at a time when technology is becoming increasingly embedded in almost every aspect of modern life. At its culmination on Friday, August 14th, 2026, Universal Service Fund Administrator Sandra Jones described the program as timely, highlighting the deliberate focus on showing students how AI tools can support and enhance their academic efforts, while also encouraging them to avoid becoming overly dependent on artificial intelligence.
We've noticed over the internet, as with AI is now a big thing, that persons have been relying a lot on AI, like making it do the work for them. So what our facilitators has been doing is to ensure that they understand how to use the technology in the right way. You work along with AI, and this is what we've been focusing on, not making the AI work for you. Like, we work with them, the proper prompts, understanding what it can do, and you now using your skills and your creativity and letting it work, working along with the AI. So this is one of our main focus.
That focus was also underscored by one of the workshop's facilitators, who emphasized a key takeaway he hopes participants will carry beyond the classroom: the importance of developing practical technological skills and applying them creatively to real-world challenges.
So since they like games, maybe they could create something that could be next level. They could take something that they've actually created and make it next level, like maybe like a worldwide game or something people could actually enjoy. And for websites, for those who actually want to go into the world of IT, actually creating websites for different individuals or companies can be beneficial for them.
Equally, the experience offered a glimpse into a future in which the skills they are learning today could become central to their careers. One standout student described his experience at the camp as an opportunity to gain knowledge that he believes will benefit him well into the future. His participation also demonstrated the growing interest among young people in understanding AI, coding, and other areas of the digital landscape.
Throughout the camp, I really enjoyed it. It kind of got me back into a proper sleep schedule so I could wake early to catch the bus. I learned lots of new things: how to code, how to use AI properly, and how to make games and websites. I would see this information beneficial to me beyond this camp by helping me to create websites for stuff that I need to do, or make games for fun, or just have a good time when I'm bored.
The program emphasis on AI is particularly noteworthy, as artificial intelligence increasingly influences workplaces and industries worldwide. Introducing young people to the technology early can help them better understand both its possibilities and its responsibilities. Beyond technical skills, the NTRC program also incorporated broader benefits, including technology training, ICT awareness, leadership development, teamwork, innovation, problem solving, creativity, and communication. For Choice News Now, I am Kishana Smith. Coming up, St. Lucian author Krista Sertange explores identity and heritage in the new Tewe Listwa anthology. And back-to-school book options expand as parents seek affordable alternatives ahead of the new 2026-27 academic year. These stories and more coming up after the break. Stay with us, the news continues.
Quick and easy, top up your card. No bank account, you get a pass. BUSL, my freedom card.
Freedom, freedom. My money, money, my way, my way.
Stop, smile, reload, repeat. Freedom. I want. Free to play.
I got peace of mind, secure and safe.
With BOSL, my freedom card. No bank account, no strings attached.
Use what you want, then load it back. Secure and safe, flexibility.
For adults and teens, no bank fees.
The first ever prepaid debit card is here, and BOSL has got yours. Tap, smile, reload, repeat. You don't have to bank with us or have a bank account.
That's freedom. The BOSL freedom card. Tap, smile, reload, repeat. Freedom.
My money, my way.
With BOSL, my freedom card.
Massey Stores Waterfront is now temporarily closed for renovations for approximately 3 months. You are welcome to continue shopping with us at Massey Stores City Store or Leclerc, where you can enjoy double points on Wednesdays and Fridays, weekly sampling, and ring-a-ding Fridays during the renovations. Thank you for your understanding and continued support of Massey Stores. Our family serving your family.
Welcome back. St. Lucian author Krista Setage is using the power of storytelling to explore identity, personal history, and the island's rich cultural heritage in the new anthology Tiwi L'Histoire. Setage says the journey took shape during the inaugural writing retreats at Balambush Estate, where an immersive connection with local traditions and community provided the inspiration and environment needed to bring her story to life. Phoebe Popo has the story.
For many writers, finding the right space to develop complex ideas can be a challenge. For members of the L'Histoire Collective, that space came to Balambush Estate during the group's inaugural 3-day writing retreat in October 2025. The experience, followed by months of continued writing, led to the publication of Tiwi L'Histoire, Emerging Voices from St. Lucia, an anthology featuring 12 local writers across poetry, short fiction, and personal essays. Among the contributors is author Krista Setage, whose piece explores themes of identity, faith, self-discovery, and everyday St. Lucian life. Speaking with Choice News Now, Setage reflected on the inspiration behind her work.
Well, my story is entitled The Mystery of Faith. I think any catalyst, if I would say there was a catalyst, it was definitely our workshop. So, well, our retreat. We had a retreat at Balambush Estate in advance to the publication. It was all of us, all 10 to 12 writers in one space with facilitators, all with the common goal of delving into our history, delving into our culture, our folklore, and trying to pull the stories, that's what Tiwi L'Histoire, pull them stories out of each of us. Now, I loved interacting with everybody, and I love being there at Balambush and seeing where my thoughts led me, because I was wondering what this story was going to be. And the mystery of itself, I could have never imagined writing something like that and then having it being published. It's a big conversation, and I'm looking forward to having more of those with people who read the story.
Setage explained how much of her identity was woven into the piece and reflected on the sources that informed her writing.
I didn't have a name as yet. I wrote it and it had absolutely no name, but I knew I wanted it to bridge something that was philosophical. I wanted to touch so many simple thoughts and put it in such a way that people, they can remember. I remember I placed in there those dilapidated buildings that we have littering the countryside in St. Lucia. They're a staple site, but if you just take a little moment and you think about them and the lives that they held. I remember when I was writing and I would refer to my notes, I looked at it and I'm like, those houses that held so many stories, so many individual St. Lucian stories, lives, families that we will never know about. The shrubs are taking them over in almost a delicate and beautiful way. It's tearing it apart, but it's the only thing holding it together. But then I also draw it back to, I wonder what it is. What's this amazing thing that can come only from this allowing collapse, allowing nature to take its course.
As Tiwi L'Histoire makes its way into the hands of local readers, contributions from authors like Krista Setage serve as powerful reminders of the value in preserving St. Lucian culture and owning local narratives. The book is available for $60 EC at local bookstores, as well as on Amazon and through the L'Histoire Collective's Facebook and Instagram pages. Proceeds from the sales will directly fund the next Tiwi L'Histoire writing retreat. For Choice News Now, I am Phoebe Popo.
A new group of sea turtle hatchlings has safely made its way to sea thanks to the efforts of conservation officials and trained resort staff who helped protect and guide them during their vulnerable first journey. The successful release comes as environmental authorities renew calls for vigilance during nesting season, urging beachgoers and pet owners to keep dogs away from nesting sites and avoid feeding stray animals on beaches where they can pose a threat to vulnerable hatchlings. Phoebe Popo tells us more in this report.
Sea turtle conservation is a critical environmental effort that faces constant challenges from both natural and human-related threats. During nesting season, female turtles lay eggs on our beaches and require a delicate incubation period of 6 to 8 weeks before the hatchlings can make their way to the ocean. However, these fragile young turtles are frequently endangered by beach predators, particularly stray dogs and local wildlife. To combat this issue, dedicated awareness programs and targeted training sessions have been conducted for hotel staff and security personnel. These initiatives aim to equip frontline beach workers with the knowledge and skills necessary to intervene and protect vulnerable hatchlings. By fostering greater public vigilance and proactive protection measures, we can significantly increase the survival rate of these endangered sea turtles.
One of the problems we do have on the beach is the interference and disturbance of dogs interfering with the turtle nest. The female turtle who comes up to lay, it takes a period of 6 to 8 weeks, 50 to 80 days before these hatchlings emerge from that nest. And what often happens is the dogs, predators, birds, of course, and anything that's on the beach can affect them because they are predators.
Edwin emphasized that ongoing education about sea turtle hatchlings will remain a priority to guarantee long-term protection for local marine life.
It is through our awareness program, it is through ensuring that the staff, the securities are well abreast with what to do. We were able to at least help out these hatchlings this morning. Kudos to Stolen Time, kudos to the staff who engaged in these sessions this year. We had at least 3 of them, and now we're seeing the results of that, where they came out this morning to assist those hatchlings and getting them back in the water.
The Department of Fisheries is reminding everyone to take their warning seriously this nesting season.
We are currently in the nesting season, and what we do want is for persons to continue being aware, continue to report. When we get those reports, we could actively monitor and ensure the survival of baby turtles. We're in the nesting season, and we want persons to keep the dogs off the beach because they can interfere with those hatchlings as they make their way to the ocean. And us, we need to protect them. When we see nesting activity, we urge you to report it to the department so we can better protect the sea turtle population.
Protecting sea turtle hatchlings require continuous collaboration between conservation teams, local businesses, and the general public. The recent critical assistance provided for hatchlings as they made their way to the sea demonstrated the direct, positive impact of staff training and community awareness initiatives. As nesting season continues, beachgoers are strongly urged to keep dogs off the beaches and immediately report any nesting activity to the Department of Fisheries. Reporting for Choice News Now, I am Phoebe Popo.
This is Choice News Now Prime. More news after the break.
Collecting rainwater is easier than you think. With just a tank and a few simple connections, you can capture rainwater to use for non-potable uses, like cleaning, gardening, and more. Water is life. Every action matters. Every drop counts.
welcome back. With just about 3 weeks to go before students return to the classroom, Choice TV explored the options available to parents looking to ease the cost of one of the most essential school expenses, textbooks. What we found was both surprising and encouraging, highlighting a growing network of affordable and accessible book options, driven in part by a spirit of generosity and a shared commitment to supporting St. Lucia's future leaders. Sienna Dalso has the details in this report.
With the 2026-27 academic year set to begin in September, Choice TV explored the options available to parents to obtain textbooks and other supplies for their children. Interviews with 3 major bookstores revealed varying perspectives on this year's back-to-school shopping trends from June to mid-August. However, one common observation was that parents began purchasing books earlier than in previous years, with the spike occurring before Carnival 2026, apparently signaling, according to them, a shift in priority from entertainment to education-related consumption. Jared Nathaniel, the managing director of Nathaniel's Books Limited, also described earlier purchasing as the most noticeable shift in consumer behavior this year. While sales revenue remains relatively consistent with past years, he said the delayed availability of some textbooks from overseas publishers continues to pose a challenge. Meanwhile, M&C Drugstore reported growth in textbook sales since entering the market 3 years ago. The marketing lead, Erin George, attributed the increase to the company's efforts to position itself as a convenient, one-stop shop for back-to-school shopping.
There are initiatives that we're currently working on to broaden our customer satisfaction in that we are focusing on the primary schools to provide that convenience to them. So that is something they've expressed gratitude for, as well as gratitude for the quality of products that we provide and the ease of access to get those products, as well as the other stationery items needed for the entire book list. That's something they're also appreciative of.
Book resale and redistribution are gaining attention as more parents seek affordable options. Retailers say that concerns about underutilized textbooks have sparked discussions about resale programs, while independent book vendors argue that second-hand sellers are often overlooked in favor of brand-new books.
Things are more hard this year. A lot of people just passing. You don't even, if you call them, they don't even selling, you just go in. So things are bad this year than last year. Last year was better than this year. Some people selling bad books for them. But we know that as a Christian, you have to be fair with people. You know, if the thing not good, we're not selling it for nobody.
Meanwhile, Rise St. Lucia continues its no-cost distribution initiative.
We've been doing the back-to-school book drive for about 5 years now, which means every year for the whole entire month of August, we give out free textbooks and school bags and supplies. Basically, the textbook part only works if people drop off the textbook they no longer use, and then people show up with the book list, and whatever is on the table, it's free of charge. You know, so we're here Monday through Saturday from around 9 to 4 for the entire month.
Against the backdrop of the diverse sources of learning material ranging from market price to free of charge, Danny Butcher, the minister in the Ministry of Education, mentioned an intention to use technology to eventually eliminate spending on school textbooks in the 2026-27 budget debate.
COMDO team have facilitated and by our curriculum officers and local teachers and IT experts. This initiative is expected to eventually relieve parents of the financial burdens of purchasing textbooks. Moreover, students' interest and learning outcomes is expected to improve.
With a lively and blossoming ecosystem that seeks to increase availability of learning literature to St. Lucian students, perhaps what stands in the way of textbook ownership for parents and guardians is knowledge of the number of choices available to suit virtually every customer, even those who would need to source books at no cost at all. For Choice News Now, I am Sienna Dalso.
Youth participants from across St. Lucia brought energy, enthusiasm, and friendly competition to the Youth Summer Arts Program Wise Up Sports Day as the Cultural Development Foundation continued its focus on holistic youth development. The event provided participants with an opportunity to step away from the creative arts and engage in physical activity, reinforcing the importance of balance, teamwork, and healthy lifestyles alongside artistic expression. Here's Phoebe Popo once again with the details in this report.
The Cultural Development Foundation, alongside corporate partner Republic Bank, brought vibrant energy to the Sports Day event for the annual Youth Summer Arts Program. Bringing together cohorts from the northern and southern ends of the island, the sports meet provided young participants with an opportunity to touch grass, engaging in physical activity and building camaraderie. Officials emphasized that while cultural preservation and artistic expression remains core to the program's mandate, physical wellness and teamwork are equally vital to fostering well-rounded personal growth. Senior Training and Development Officer at the CDF, Anthony Wilkie Jr., underscored the camp's holistic approach, highlighting the wide-ranging benefits participants gained through both the summer camp and the sports meet.
YSAP is a holistic development opportunity. It's the youth flagship program of the Cultural Development Foundation. And in as much as our mandate is about cultural preservation, transmission, etc., we understand the importance of holistic development. And this is why this level of physical activity is also incorporated. So the young people get a chance to come out, be in the sun, participate in physical activity, just get their bodies moving and have that holistic development.
Corporate partners Republic Bank praised the event's dynamic atmosphere, reinforcing their commitment to supporting youth empowerment platforms across the country. According to the country manager for Republic Bank in St. Lucia, Ron Leo, partnering with the Cultural Development Foundation provides a valuable platform to empower local youth.
Youth development is extremely important to Republic Bank, and who better to partner with than CDF? CDF is always full of life, full of energy. Every single event that we partner with, when it relates to CDF, is absolutely amazing. And you could feel the life, you could feel the energy here today. We are absolutely, I should say, infused with the passion for youth development. You could see us with cricket. We have our 5 for Fun program, and now with CDF, with this YSAP program, we are always happy to know that young people have the ability to come together, to have fun, to learn, to grow, and to enjoy themselves. So this is what we're about. Listen to this energy. This is what we're about.
The YSAP Sports Day highlighted the powerful impact of combining creative arts with physical activity for holistic youth development. Supported by the Cultural Development Foundation and Republic Bank, the initiative underscores a shared commitment to empowering the next generation. Moving forward, organizers remain dedicated to building inclusive platforms where young people can grow, connect, and thrive together. Reporting for Choice News Now, I am Phoebe Popo.
The news continues after the break with PR Daily. Stay with us.
Courts presents their 2026 All-Range event. Be inspired at all Court stores nationwide. Come see what's new in everyday furniture and appliances. Get a chance to win an Indorama 30-inch stove with appliance purchase of $5,999 or more. Great deals on TVs and wall mounts. Everyday great value on mattresses. Bedroom bundle deals up to 25% off. Be inspired at the Courts 2026 All-Range event. Affordable convenience for your home. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offer ends July 25th, 2026. Conditions apply.
Every building pulses with its own life and energy. Let's ensure yours shines with health and vitality. Lewis Industries infuses life into every corner of your buildings with tailored cleaning solutions. From conquering mold and mildew, restoring floors to their former glory, to meticulous post-construction cleanups, washroom sanitizations, and caring for delicate fabrics and upholstery, our comprehensive services covers all your building cleaning needs. Create an environment that boosts productivity and leaves a lasting impression, because clean is not just an appearance, but a performance. Bring your workspace to life with Lewis Industries. Call us at 450-4060 or visit us at www.lewisindustries.ltd.com to schedule your professional cleaning service today.
Welcome back to Choice News Now Prime. Here is PR Daily with Sienna Dalso.
Welcome to PR Daily, your trusted source for the latest press releases, important announcements, community initiatives, and events. I'm your presenter, Sienna Dalso. As the Atlantic hurricane season continues, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Sustainable Development is urging farmers and agricultural stakeholders to take proactive measures to safeguard their livelihoods before the arrival of any tropical storm or hurricane. The ministry is encouraging farmers to clear drainage systems, secure agricultural equipment, and ensure adequate supplies of feed and water for livestock, emphasizing that preparedness remains one of the most effective tools in reducing damage and accelerating recovery in the aftermath of severe weather events.
When a hurricane is approaching, safety of life and the preservation of livelihoods is most important. We should take heed. Ensure all agricultural and farm drains be cleared of all debris before any tropical storm or hurricane. Safeguard all agricultural implements and tools, including pumps, by storing them above ground level, safe from potential flood waters. And ensure your farm has at least 2 weeks of livestock feed and fresh water to tend to your animals. Remember, this is the hurricane season, and we should be prepared.
A message brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Sustainable Development.
Dane Albert of Bruno's Bakery in Union Castries is finding great fulfillment in the Careers in the Baking Industry apprenticeship program, where he combines years of baking experience with his passion for mentoring young people eager to learn and build careers in the industry.
It's been going pretty good. We've been in operation for 6 years. I think COVID 2019. So yeah, roughly 6 years. It's been good. I mean, there are some challenges as all business would have, but yeah, I can't complain thus far. It's been good. Being in the industry for 6 years, I mean, persons have come and gone, I mean, workers, and it's really a challenge finding workers. I mean, I don't know, for some reason, you don't get bakers or persons who are interested in being a baker, and that has been a challenge for quite some time now. And when I heard about the program, it was of great interest to me. So I listened, and when the program actually started, it was something that's very, very beneficial to us with this establishment, because you get persons who come in, persons who want to learn the trade, or some persons who have already had the knowledge, or have the knowledge rather, but they want further experience in the baking industry. So that has been a great help. Currently we have 2 young ladies who has shown a lot of interest. One who already had she's already doing a course actually, and she wanted to further herself in the baking industry. So she came on board the program, which, I mean, she has been a great help thus far, I must say. There are some products that we do that they were not familiar with. Example, in rolling of the Creole bread, as we know as the Creole bread. So in the beginning, it's something that we have to be teaching, or we have taught. And so you could see that they're a bit shaky, as usual, as custom. I mean, it's the first time you're doing something. I would expect that. But to be honest with you, there's a great improvement. It's only, I think, 3 weeks now into the course, and I could see that there's a great improvement in molding, or I could say shaping of the bread. I mean, being applicable, you know what I mean? So it has been, I could see, even though the period is it's a 6-month course, but within the 4 weeks that they have been there, I could see some improvement. It has been good.
The Grizzly constituency has officially opened the Deidre Mather Multipurpose Court in Grand Riviere, honoring the late great former national netball player who passed away suddenly in 2023. The facility, unveiled on Saturday the 15th of August, is the first in the constituency to bear the name of a woman. We hear more on that in this report.
The court is being opened in celebration of Deidre's life, of course, as a netballer, a former national athlete for St. Lucia, but it is a multi-purpose court, so we'll have basketball here, volleyball here, netball, court sports will be played right here in Grand Riviere. I'm very happy that we are finally able to open this facility after so many years, and we just want to encourage the entire community to use it to the best of their ability, take care of it, don't let anybody vandalize it, for us to develop the next generation of talent. I think it's very important for us to establish clubs in Grand Riviere, be it netball, be it volleyball, basketball clubs, to ensure that we can pass on the knowledge that we have on the next generation and get some of the best sportsmen and women from the community of Grand Riviere. It's a little bit emotional for me as a minister to speak about Deidre, because Deidre was such a kick-off. It's so hard to be serious sometimes when you think of Deidre's personality. And my first interaction with Deidre was obviously on a court because, like myself, Deidre was involved in every single sporting activity you can think of. Deidre was an excellent high jumper, an excellent high jumper. Deidre, during her HES days, she won shot put, she won discus, she won javelin, she won high jump convincingly, and she was just an all-round athlete.
And that's all for today's edition of PR Daily. If you have a press release that you want to share with our audience, do send us an email at news.choicemedianetwork@gmail.com. Thank you for watching PR Daily. Do stay tuned for more news and updates. Back to you, Kishana.
Thank you, Sienna. It's now time to take a look at the local weather forecast.
Welcome to our Cruise Community Series, where we meet the persons behind the scenes who drive our diverse cruise industry. Today, we meet one of our amazing cruise agents.
Platinum Port Agency, we are a maritime vessel agency. Basically, we are agents for whenever maritime vessels need to come into St. Lucia. They need to be cleared with the government officials of St. Lucia, and we are the ones that facilitate those requests. Any foods, items, so you try to foster a relationship with the cruise lines, you exchange emails, try to create a human connection, different channels of economic stimulation that happens from that. You have, say, the drivers that need to get the persons to and from, or the goods to and from. You have farmers or suppliers. There's a lot of things that we do in the cruising sector that may not be on the front line for people to see, but rest assured we're getting it done.
Massey Store's waterfront is now temporarily closed for renovations for approximately 3 months. You are welcome to continue shopping with us at Massey Store's City Store or Leclerc, where you can enjoy double points on Wednesdays and Fridays, weekly sampling, and ring-a-ding Fridays during the renovations. Thank you for your understanding and continued support of Massey Stores. Our family serving your family.
Welcome back. Here's Sienna Dalso once again with our regional news package.
Welcome to the regional news package. I'm your presenter, Sienna Dalso. In Guyana, the Georgetown City Council embarked on a cleanup and rehabilitation works at the border market. The mayor spoke to the objectives of these works and asked that vendors vacate a section of Rob Street in order to better uphold the city's sanitation, stressing that this is not in an effort to take away their livelihood. We hear more from HGP TV's Travis Chase.
The Georgetown Mayor and City Council has launched an aggressive cleanup rehabilitation exercise around the border market area, temporarily forcing vendors off a section of Rob Street as municipal officials move to address a serious sanitation and public health concern. The 3-day exercise is targeting accumulated garbage, blocked drains, and long-standing sewage problems in and around the busy market area. As a result, vending has been suspended along Rob Street between Alexander Street and Orange Walk. City Hall workers dismantled a number of makeshift vending structures. Here's Mayor of Georgetown, Alfred Mentor.
The place was not as clean as it should. There are a number of issues concerning the sewage that we had to treat with. There's a number of issues concerning water and other things concerning the drainage that we obviously had to address. And weren't able to do that because the vendors were blocking these particular access as well as over the drains and so on and so forth. So we decided to take a decision of the council to address it and to clean up this place once and for all.
The council is also working alongside the Guyana Water Incorporated to address sewage-related problems while municipal workers clear blocked drains. And while the initial exercise is expected to last 3 days, Mayor Mentor warned vendors that their return could be delayed if additional work is required.
Even though the 3-day itself spoke to what we plan to do is just relates from checking with the sewage, checking with the drainage, checking with the water and all of that. We will ensure that all of those things are fixed and put in place. So the 3 days itself is a cleanup, but we have to put other remedies in place before we eventually cause those persons to come back here and sell.
He stressed that protecting public health must take precedence over commercial activity, particularly where food is being sold.
Regardless of selling, sometimes we got to start prioritizing economics over health. Even though we might say 3 days, it could be 6 days, it could be a week, it could be a little bit more than that. But the priority has to be the health of the citizens.
The mayor said vendors will no longer be permitted to rebuild permanent makeshift structures. Instead, those allowed to return temporarily will be required to operate using collapsible tents and tables. City officials maintain that they are not attempting to drive vendors out of business, but insist vending must take place under sanitary and environmentally acceptable conditions, and Border Market will not be the last. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
In Barbados, a fresh coat of paint is being used to send a serious message to motorists ahead of the new school term. Slow down and watch out for pedestrians. The Ministry of Transport and Works has joined forces with Trident Insurance to repaint crosswalks and address other road infrastructure issues along the South Coast. We hear more from Deanza Roberts with CBC News.
It may look like a simple paint job, but the Ministry of Transport and Works says these freshly marked crosswalks could help save lives. Today, work got underway along the South Coast with Minister of State in the Ministry of Transport and Works, Dr. Romel Springham, getting hands-on and helping to paint the road. And as the work progressed, vehicles continued to move along Highway 7, a reminder of the challenge facing pedestrians and road users in this busy corridor.
This is more than paint on a roadway. A clearly marked crosswalk or clearly marked zebra crossing is a visual message to every motorist that they should slow down, pay attention, and give pedestrians the protection that they deserve. For our children in particular, this message is critical.
The first crossing being repainted is outside the Trident Insurance Financial Center near Arthur Smith Primary School in Hastings. The timing is deliberate, with the children set to return to school soon. The initiative will also target potholes and other road infrastructure issues along the highway. Tawanya Hines Elcock is the Marketing and External Affairs Manager at Answer McCall Barbados Limited.
This project is split into two, where they're actually repainting the crosswalks along several places on the South Coast that are in close proximity to a number of schools. Today, August 16th, we're starting with the crosswalk in front of the Trident Insurance Financial Center, and that is close to the Arthur Smith Primary School.
The program moves to Bay Primary School, Bay Gardens, then on to St. Michael's School at Martindale's Road and Luther Thorne Primary School in Wildy. Work will conclude at the Grade and Sealy Secondary School in Paddock Road. The minister says the goal is bigger than repairing roads after something goes wrong.
Going forward, we can explore expanding the program to include additional schools, additional pedestrian crossing, some of those high-risk road locations, and some communities, other communities across Barbados.
There is a call for businesses to get involved. The minister says future partnerships could see more crosswalks repainted, road marking improved, safety signs installed, and drainage issues addressed. But for now, the message to drivers, especially around school, is to slow down, pay attention, respect the crosswalk, and protect the children. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
And finally, in Grenada, operations at the Carenage location of the National Lotteries Authority came to a halt sometime last week as workers backed by their union withdrew their services over what they say are serious health and safety concerns. We hear more from Shania McIntosh with GBN News.
Employees of the National Lottery Authority's Carenage branch were seen today outside their workplace as concerns mount over the condition of the building. President of the Technical and Allied Workers Union, Andrew Lewis, says the working environment is no longer safe for employees to continue carrying out their daily duties. Lewis says Concerns include the presence of mold and poor air quality, while pointing to conditions at other National Lottery Authority locations, including the Bruce Street Mall and the National Stadium.
Therefore, we have asked the workers to withdraw themselves from that environment that is not healthy to them. And this is not just about the carnage, but it's about the carnage, it's about Bruce Street, it is about Grenville, it is about the stadium, yes, where Lotto operates.
According to Lewis, air quality testing was conducted and the results raised serious concerns about the environment in which employees are expected to work.
As a matter of fact, only yesterday evening, this morning, we saw a copy of a report that was done by one of our institutions testing the quality of the air. That is of serious concern. The report says that it's of serious concerns. And we only saw that despite the fact that we are requesting those information for the past 2 or so weeks. So this is what has brought us to where we are today.
Lewis says an engagement between the union and relevant authorities had been scheduled to discuss the matter and determine the way forward.
Earlier this morning, but for some reasons advanced by management, it was not able to come off. Another meeting was set for 11:30. We are now learning that it will not take place at 11:30. So we are seeking to see if an engagement can take place sometime this evening. The report has made recommendations for addressing the issues, right? And that is what management will have to address.
In the meantime, the Technical and Allied Workers Union has instructed employees to withdraw from working at the Carnage branch until the engagement is held and an acceptable plan is put in place to address the concerns. The union says the safety and well-being of workers must remain a priority. GBN reached out to the National Lotteries Authority. However, up to news time, no response was forthcoming. Reporting for GBN News, Shania McIntosh.
And that's all for the regional news package. Back to you, Kishana.
Thank you, Sienna. Our final segment is right after the break. Stay with us.
Moi que tu as sous bout mi baba de moi aïe vraiment moi passer immigration nga ko police toi chebe moi ha wa ki bay
moi fi me rester seul no match
la jamais vrai nga fa comme un bobol comme
people who know me look at me as being a humble little guy, you know.
Show my prime minister lady. Mardi c'est comment c'est moi mon travail.
Moi ou pas fait, moi pas fait. Hello, excuse me, I'm back.
Voice of the People. Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Choice TV.
Massey Store's waterfront is now temporarily closed for renovations for approximately 3 months. You are welcome to continue shopping with us at Massey Store City Store or Leclerc, where you can enjoy double points on Wednesdays and Fridays, weekly sampling, and ring-a-ding Fridays during the renovations. Thank you for your understanding and continued support of Massey Stores. Our family serving your family.
It's all about you and the dreams you believed, how you made your way ahead, all the goals you have achieved.
All along the way, you've been a partner so true, all the way you've seen me through.
We're all the bank you need. It's still about you and the life you're shaping now, all the doors that open wide, every step, every vow.
All along the way, you'll be a partner so true, all the way you've seen me through.
We're all the bank you need. We're the Bank of St. Lucia, so bank on your future. We're the Bank of St. Lucia, all the bank you need.
Celebrating 25 years strong. Bank of St. Lucia, all the bank you need.
Welcome back. Before we end the broadcast, here's our update. A woman in southern Italy came within moments of losing a $1 million lottery prize after accidentally throwing away her winning ticket. The incident began when she used a machine at a local tobacconist to check the ticket. After the machine indicated that the prize could not be paid there, she assumed the ticket was worthless and threw it away. A family member later recognized the winning numbers as though she regularly played and contacted her, prompting a frantic search. After hours of searching through the waste, workers miraculously recovered the intact ticket. Officials credited the successful recovery to teamwork, organization, and a little luck, turning what could have been a costly mistake into an extraordinary ending. And with that, we come to the end of our primetime newscast. On behalf of the entire Choice TV family, thank you for staying with us. Stay tuned for more quality programming on Choice TV.
Moke chosu buda mi baba de mo ay yo klem ni mo passe immigration nga ko we police try chebe mo ha wa ki bai mo fi no este